Hello friends, welcome to the channel IT Simplified. In today's session, I'm here to discuss networking requirement for Windows 365. As you know that the way this service has been promoted by Microsoft is as a desktop as a service, so as a cloud PC. But there are certain fundamental differences that you need to keep in mind from the networking perspective so that it makes it easier for you to make a decision which one to choose. Now it comes in two flavors. You have a business edition and you have an enterprise edition. So let's look them one by one. Now, with Business Edition, there is no need of any virtual network integration. In fact, it does not give any option of integrating with virtual network. The only option that you have is Azure AD joint. There is no subscription needed for you for Azure, and you can just go and spin up these PCs based on how many users you have. In this service, you will have a one-to-one relationship. What does that mean is if you have 10 users, you have to deploy 10 machines under this flavor. You cannot share your PCs with any other person in the organization. There is no licensing prerequisite. So it's a service based on which SKU you're going to pick, which relates to how many CPUs, RAM, or storage requirement is. And you're going to pay on an average monthly, whatever is the cost for that. You cannot use your own customized image. So whatever standard image which is there, you can only spin up these machines using those standard image from Microsoft. Now let's come to the Enterprise Edition. Now when it comes to Enterprise, it is being customized to be used with an organization which already have investment with your on-prem data center, which I think 9 out of 10 organizations they are. It means that you're already having their on-prem Active Directory. Now with the enterprise flavor, you need to have a virtual network in Azure. And it will allow you to have hybrid AD joint devices. It means that you will have on-prem AD connectivity as well as Azure AD connectivity. So you get best of both the worlds. So say, taking example of a company which have already got on-prem data center in which they have their domain controllers on-prem and they want to use Enterprise Edition, they will deploy this in a virtual network. They will establish a connectivity. It can be either by site-to-site VPN or through an express route. And then they will be able to deploy these Enterprise Edition machines. Also want to point out that there are certain prerequisites from the licensing in Enterprise Edition. Like for example, you also need to have Azure AD Premium 1, Intune, as well as Windows 10 or Windows 11 Enterprise Edition licensing. Now, what happens in case you don't have on-prem data center, but you still have your domain controllers in the cloud in Azure? That's not a problem. You can still deploy this Enterprise Edition. The only thing is that for these machines, you need to have that connectivity to your domain controller in the cloud, which can be done through configuration on the virtual network by changing the DNS server. Now, question arises, can you use some of the other services from Azure which relates to domain services, for example, Azure Active Directory domain services? So as of today, no. But I think there are certain things which are going to change in the near future. From the bandwidth perspective also, there is going to be some charge. And as you know that in any cloud, bandwidth relates to if you're copying the data back on-prem. Now in Business Edition, it is between 12 gig to 70 gig, depending upon which SKU you're going to choose. And if you're going to go more than that, Microsoft is going to restrict it. And there is also going to be charges in the Enterprise Edition based on what tier you have. For example, if it is between 0 to 5 gig, it is free. If you go more than that, then there's a cost associated, which you can always check going into the pricing calculator. But from the networking perspective, hope this is clear. In Business Edition, there's no option of virtual network integration, but in Enterprise Edition, it gives you that capability, and that's why it is being catered to enterprise customer who already have investment, maybe on-prem data center or in the cloud, and then also on top of that, there's going to be a licensing requirement. And the good thing is that under both these flavors, you get this option of accessing these devices from any machine, whether you have a Windows 10 or you might be having iOS or Android devices. You can access this as long as you have the compatible browser, which is typically HTML5. Hope this gives you an idea about the networking requirement for both these flavor. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.